I wasn't even supposed to take that road. It was late, and I just wanted to get home faster. GPS showed Highway 50 cutting straight through miles of nothing, saving me almost 2 hours. I didn't think much about it. I'd heard people call it the loneliest road, but that sounded more like a joke than a warning. By the time I turned onto it, it was already dark. Not city dark, real dark. The kind where your headlights feel too small, like they're barely pushing back whatever's out there. No streetlights, no houses, no passing cars, just a long, empty stretch of asphalt cutting through the desert. At first, it was peaceful. Then it started to feel wrong. I think it was the silence. I had the radio on, but it kept cutting out, static, then nothing. After a while, I just turned it off. The quiet inside the car felt heavier after that, like I could actually hear how alone I was. I remember checking the time, 11:43 p.m. That's around when I first saw the light behind me. It was far away, just a small white dot in the distance. I felt relieved, honestly. Another car meant I wasn't completely alone out there. I kept driving, expecting it to slowly get closer, but it didn't. After a while, I started noticing something strange. No matter how long I drove, that light stayed the same distance behind me, not gaining, not falling back. I adjusted my speed a little just to test it, slowed down from around 70 to maybe 60. The light slowed too. I frowned and sped up again. Same thing. It matched me perfectly. At that point, I told myself I was just being paranoid. Maybe the other driver had cruise control on. It happens. But then I looked again, and something about it felt off. There wasn't two headlights, just one. I leaned forward a little, squinting at the mirror. It didn't look like a normal headlight either. It was too centered, too round, and it didn't bounce with the road like you'd expect. It just stayed steady. That's when I started getting uncomfortable. I turned my radio back on just to fill the silence, but it was still mostly static. Every now and then, I thought I heard something in it, like a voice trying to come through, but it never formed into anything clear. So I turned it off again. Bad idea. The silence came back worse than before. I kept checking the mirror. That light was still there, still matching me. I pressed the gas a little harder. Nothing crazy, just enough to see if it would react. It did. Instantly. No delay, no gradual change. It just stayed exactly where it was, like it was locked to my car. That's when I started feeling it. That gut feeling, like something isn't right, even if you can't explain why. I didn't want to keep looking, but I couldn't stop myself. Every few seconds, my eyes went back to the mirror. At some point, I don't know how long into the drive, I noticed it looked closer. Not like it had slowly caught up, just closer. That made my chest tighten. I gripped the steering wheel harder and tried to focus on the road, but I kept checking. And every time I looked, it felt like it was a little bigger, a little brighter. Eventually, it got close enough that I could see more than just the light. There was something behind it. At first, I thought it was just my eyes messing with me. Shapes in the dark, it happens. But the longer I looked, the more it didn't go away. It wasn't shaped like a car. It was too tall, too narrow, and it wasn't moving like something on wheels. It was upright, keeping pace with me. That's when the panic really hit. I pressed the gas harder without even thinking. The engine got louder, the road started flying past faster, but it didn't matter. It stayed right there, right behind me, close enough now that I couldn't ignore it. The light, it wasn't acting like a light anymore. It felt like it was looking at me. I know how that sounds, but that's exactly what it felt like. Like I wasn't just being followed, I was being watched. My breathing got shallow. I could hear my own heartbeat in my ears. I told myself not to look again. I looked anyway, and I wish I hadn't, because in that moment I realized something I still can't explain. The light blinked. Not flickered. Blink. Like an eye. I froze for a second, like my brain just couldn't process it. Then it all hit at once, and I slammed my foot down on the gas. I didn't care how fast I was going anymore. I just wanted distance between me and whatever that thing was. But it didn't fall back. It didn't struggle to keep up. It just stayed there. Then I heard something. At first, I thought it was my car. The engine, maybe. But it wasn't. It was coming from behind me. A sound that didn't belong on an empty highway. Slow, heavy, like breathing. I didn't turn around again after that. I couldn't. I kept my eyes locked on the road and just drove. I don't even remember how long it lasted. It felt like forever, but it couldn't have been that long. Eventually, I saw lights ahead. A gas station. I've never felt relief like that before. I pulled in way too fast, tires screeching a little as I stopped. I didn't even shut the engine off right away. I just sat there staring at the mirror. Nothing. No light, no shape, just darkness, like it had never been there. I stayed there for a long time before I got out. The guy working inside came out after a bit, probably wondering what I was doing. He asked if I was okay. I told him something had been following me. He didn't laugh, didn't even look surprised. He just glanced down the road behind me, then back at me. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Happens sometimes out here." That didn't make me feel better. I asked him what it was. He just shook his head. "No one knows." I stayed there until morning. Didn't even think about getting back on that road in the dark. I told myself it was over, that it was just something about that place. But a few nights later, I was driving home from work. Normal road, streetlights, other cars around. Everything felt fine, until I checked my rearview mirror, and for just a second, I saw it again, far behind me. One light, keeping its distance.